Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome as you're coming in, as we're going live. James MacNeil here. Very, very excited to be here with you live. And this is going to be a very powerful and important show. Let me turn that, and we go here. So one and all, thank you for joining us for this very special edition of the SuperHuman Movement and our very first guest on the SuperHuman Movement. So I figured, why dilly-dally? I'm going right for the big guns, for the big deal, for the big guy. And not much bigger than this guy. So this is Steven Kuhn. He is a U.S. Army combat veteran, international business advisor, successful author of The Humble Alpha. I'm glad he's humble because he is alpha. And more importantly, this is one awesome guy. So Steven, thank you so much for joining us. It's a big deal to be able to talk to you. We're going to go deep and wide. I'm going to push buttons. We're going to kick hornets' nests, and we're going to get some straight shooting out of you. So welcome, good sir.
Thank you so much. And it's important that we're able to do that. There's nothing that's off limits.
God bless you, because I'm going to get nasty. No, I wouldn't.
Good.
I got to tell everyone, we Steven and I spoke the other day, and he said something like, most people don't talk to me like that. And I said, well, I'm not scared because you're so far away. There's an ocean between us. If you were anywhere near Fort Lauderdale, Florida right now, I'd be downright polite. So here's what I've promised, Steven. I've teased people. I've told them that you and I are going to talk about some of the following. You ready? I'm going to just throw it out there, and then we'll see what happens. Number one, I want to talk about Take America Back. And it doesn't mean we have to talk about it first, but it's urgent that we talk about Take America Back, TAB. And this is a movement. This is your brainchild. You are the founder. You're the creator. You are the leader of this. And so many people feel like, what happened? And so when we talk about Take America Back, I'm going to want to ask you, like, take it back from who? From what? Back to what? Was there a moment in time that it was that's the model? So we're going to talk about Take America Back and how that does. But we probably want to start with some pretty provocative headlines. Venezuela. What are your thoughts on U.S. activities in Venezuela and the repercussions globally? I want to talk about Minnesota, that cute little place. We're going to talk about ICE. Some wisdom around there, and corruption, perhaps, fraud and all that. I want to talk about Trump. Everyone wants to talk about Trump. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino. I want to talk about extreme left and extreme right, and a very curious marriage there. And this also just hit, I mean, this could take days to go through all this, but I just wanted to push buttons and see what we can do. The U.S. leaving 66 organizations, 31 of them being in the UN. I want to talk about what is the war in the West and what specifically is the war on and why. But let's just start with something easy. You ready?
Yeah.
Venezuela.
Well, it's not so easy. Not as easy as it looks. Most people think it's about narcotics going up to the north, and that's part of it, of course, but that's the smallest part of it. It's not just oil either. What a lot of people got to understand is that Venezuela is the headquarters for many things. There's a few billion-dollar companies down there, like Dominion and the other voting machine companies, right, that they used in the American elections and in other elections.
Ooh, didn't know that.
Yeah. The billion-dollar companies are down there. And there's the drug money. There's trillions of dollars that flow worldwide into institutional banking, family offices, and banks, like commercial banks, from like legitimate drug money. I guess I should say legitimate drug money going into these banks worldwide. That's why they can spend this money. That's why they have so much money. And what Trump was doing was, he set up a blockade along the coast of Venezuela, and was taking out these boats. Right. So the blockade stopped the ships from going in and out. Stopped a lot of the airplanes going from in and out. And there started to be calls made from these people in Venezuela calling their, let's call them globalist friends, saying, hey, I paid you to make sure that we can operate, and now we can't operate. You better fix this. And that's why you saw certain fractions in the American government and in Europe that were highly against what Trump was doing because it's blocking their money flow, right? And there's a whole cascade of things. So that's one of the reasons. And then this capturing of Maduro seems to have developed that it's more of a extraction than it was a capture. That he was he made a deal beforehand. Everything was taken care of. The vice president, or the whatever you want to call, the vice president, had already helped set everything up. His generals had him under protective custody, and we're just waiting for the Americans to come in. But they had to blow a few things up to make it look like it was actually, a war. And then if you look at why didn't the surface-to-air missiles go off that Russia and China had, and some people said the Americans took them out. They didn't. They just didn't work. And why didn't they work? Well, it's hard to say, but speculation says that when you buy, even when you buy, let's say, an F-16 from the American military and they sell it to Turkey, well, that's not the same F-16 that we have.
Right.
There's pieces that are different. And these weapons often have kill switches or back doors, they would call it, right? Same thing with computer systems. So it could be that, what was it, about a month and a half ago when Trump, Xi Jinping, and Putin all met, that they made this deal and said, look, we'll take Venezuela, you can have Taiwan, but lay off for now, and Putin, you can have Ukraine. This is sort of the talk that people are talking about. That's sort of what people are talking about.
So I want to backtrack just a little bit, if you don't mind, because you said a lot, and I'm learning, right? So this is new at me, and maybe a lot of people here are like, wait, where's my notepad? I want to catch this. So I just want to move back the timeline of what you were sharing back to the point where it wasn't a capture, it was prearranged. Help us understand that, because there were optics of a military action, and pretty awesome, frankly, from what someone like me looks at, and then he's gone, and he didn't die. Like he wasn't. When something like this happens, the whole dead or alive thing doesn't seem to be. Yeah, it seems to be dead or alive. But this was like, no, he was captured safely and out with very minimal chaos. So are you saying that there's that may have been prearranged, that it was just like an Uber pickup?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's not often that a dictator gets captured with his wife.
Yeah.
Why would his wife be there? They were already together. They were already together. Apparently, the generals had him under protective custody, and they were just waiting for the Americans to come in.
Wow.
And then you have other things, and you have other things that are happening. Like, you got to realize this was the money machine for the globalists.
Yes.
Venezuela is the money machine. Has more oil than anybody anywhere in the whole world. It's lower quality oil, but it's still oil, crude. And then you got someone like there's reports of a Congressman Jeffries, which is the head of the Democratic Congress, who apparently tried to warn Maduro, but that warning came in after the Americans were already there, so they busted him. And when that came out, I posted it, and then suddenly all of the information is gone, and there's only all kinds of information about Jeffries was never warned beforehand, so he couldn't have told anybody. But there's no accusations out on the internet, but they're defending him for accusations that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So obviously it happened.
Wow.
So they scrubbed the internet of the information, and now they're saying that it didn't happen, even though there is no accusations on the internet anymore. So it's a game. Just let me tell you this: everything, and I mean everything that you see in the news, is just a diversion. It's to make you think differently. It's to make you follow a narrative. It's to make you follow an agenda. Everything. If you get emotional when you watch something, you've already lost.
That's
right?
so awesome. Yeah, that really hit me. You said that before, and I'm like, what a slam dunk of a sentence. The moment you notice you're emotional, you've already lost. They gotcha. Because once they get you out of your rational mind into your animal mind, your fight and flight mind, it's almost like you have no IQ there. Like the moment you lose that, and like with MMA fighters, I created a thing called mental MMA. It's like, yes, you can be motivated, and yes, you can be provoked, but the teeter-totter of emotional intelligence is normally when emotion goes up, logic goes down. Now, high IQ is I can raise both, but that's a very unique skill set that's developed over time. And so it's a very safe thing. And I really hope everyone's going to grab gold from this. It's not just a fun chat, but Steven just said something I really hope everyone gets. The moment you realize you're emotional, you've already lost. I just wanted to really nail that down. Sorry.
If we want to get more detailed about that, it's like this. As soon as you get emotionally triggered one way or the other, either for something or against something.
Yeah.
You already know you're being manipulated. So stop, pan out, look at the whole picture and say, who wants me to be triggered?
Yep.
Why do they want me to be triggered? And what am I supposed to be looking at right now instead of actually looking at it? So that's the three things I always ask myself. And also, something I live by, and I made this up. I didn't steal it from anybody. This is why I made this up. It's something that I use every day, whether it's with my wife or my kids or in business or in politics or whatever. It's receive, decide, let go. So receive the information in front of you, decide what to do with it, what to do with parts of it or all of it, and let everything else go that doesn't serve you. And I mean let it go, completely gone, cut it out of your life, out, gone, and finished. And this way you're living a life of clarity. If you're carrying baggage around, things that bother you, that upset you, like, oh, the Karens are always complaining, or oh, the left, or oh, the right, or all these different things you're carrying with you, that's baggage for no reason. And that's waiting to be triggered.
Yes.
Literally waiting to be triggered. You just need to see one, Karen or one left or one right, and next thing you know, boom, it fires up.
Yes.
Weed that stuff out. Receive, decide, let go.
I want to share with you. I was exposed to a similar concept by Dr. Henry Cloud, who I'm going to be pursuing. I already warned him. I want him on the show. Dr. Henry Cloud talks about metabolization as a psychologist. He talks about metabolization similar to food. You take in the food and your body's like, why did he give me a hamburger? I needed, some veggies, but whatever. So now what do I do with it? This I can use immediately. This I can store for value later. And the rest, and the most important thing about our physical body, is to remove all toxicity. You take what's good, you save what might be helpful later, and then you get rid of everything. And one of the most important things in life, intellectually, emotionally, and physically, is that metabolization. So what is, again, receive?
Decide, let go.
Beautiful. So if I just want to make sure that we haven't ran away from Venezuela too soon. Before I let you jump in again, I just wanted to say my heart, and I think you would share this, my heart is 100% with the beautiful souls of Venezuela, those who are currently in the country and the Venezuelans who have fled the country, who are in various parts of the world with a deep, heartfelt cry for peace, freedom, and abundance for their home country. So I just wanted to send out my love to all of my Venezuelan friends and all of the Venezuelans that I don't know personally. But it is so important that when we talk politics, we don't forget the humans, right, that are affected by this giant game being played. Go ahead, sir.
It's like the revolution in Iran right now. It's a big deal right now. This is the third time they tried it since, 2009? And the last two times, everything was crushed and people were killed and murdered. And now they're fighting it. It looks like it's actually happening. Reza Pahlavi is the crown prince. He's talking to the CEO and founders of Uber, who are both Iranian billionaires or close to billionaires, to help and set up a plan if this does pull off. So. It's an amazing time to be alive. I have a lot of Iranian friends.
Yes.
Not so many Venezuelan friends that I don't have, but I worked in Europe, and there's a lot of Persians in Europe. And you know what?
Yeah.
Every Persian that I've ever worked with, known or spoken to, when I was in Hamburg, I had 70 employees. Half of them were Persian, right? And in Berlin and in Zurich and all these places that I lived, and the Persians were at the top, highly educated, speak multiple languages, extremely motivated, business owners, professionals, doctors, lawyers, and stuff like that. And they just want to go back and do it there in their own country, And it's amazing to see the world come together, even though mainstream media is not covering it at all.
I know.
Why is this not being covered? And why was Venezuela so deeply covered? Because Venezuela was rooting out the globalist control, stealing their money. So they had to make it look illegitimate. And now Iran is not being publicized by mainstream media because that's their partner. What a lot of people don't know is in 1979, I'm sorry to change the subject, but in 1979, when the revolution in Iran took off, that was a power grab. And that was the Islamists and that was the leftists and revolutionaries that came together. So the Islamists always use leftists. They did it in Second World War too. Hitler and the Islamists got together and they used the leftists, the communists, to come in, and then they killed them all. Iran did the same thing. They used the communists and the leftists and the Islamists. They brought together. They overtook Iran. The first thing they did was kill all the leftists, right? And if you look in the Western world right now, Chile, about 10 years ago in Chile, there were these forest fires everywhere, and there was roads burning and streets burning, and that was ISIS and the left that were doing that. So ISIS and the left working together. Now in America, you got communists, you got the leftists, and you got the Islamists working together. And so it's the same model over and over again. Venezuela is the cash cow for that. And that's why Venezuela was so important for, these are all alleged, I don't have the proof right in front of me, but I know I'm fortunate to have friends in intel in just about every country in the world. And, a lot of the contacts I've had in the past. What people might not know who's watching is I've lived in 10 countries, worked for, advised multiple governments, 4 or 5 governments, stood up parties, founded political organizations, and worked internationally, you name it, in just about every country. And raised a couple $2 billion for businesses and turned them around and mergers and acquisitions. So when you're in that kind of a business, when you get to the billions, you start getting involved in governments. Billions don't flow without the governments being involved. We had a nonprofit in Romania. We had, there's a lot of different things that I've done. So I've always gathered these people around, and I do one thing that keeps me, let's say, on the front page of everybody's book, and that is I add value by solving problems. That's my main thing. So when I meet somebody, first thing I know is what's their problem. It's just sort of in conversation, and I'm just firing off solutions. And that just keeps me someone of value in their life. And then when I need something or they find something that I think I need, I don't even have to reach out. They reach out to me.
So I wanted to, I just wanted to jump on a couple of things because, again, you drop 40 golden nuggets, and then I try and find one to, make sure everyone gets it. So I just wanted to pause on the extreme left and extreme right, I'll call them for my simplicity's sake. So help the regular person understand what you're saying. So if I understand correctly, just help me out here and flesh it out. On what I would call the extreme left, and these are all simplicity terms, but we work with what we can. But those who we would see as the extreme left, they will say what's most important is that we take care of the vulnerable. We take care of those who are outcasts, or the marginalized, the underdogs, right? So it's like take care of people. They would say we are strongly against government control as far as like religion or, limiting people's rights. Like you got to be free to do what you want, all that, that kind of thing. And and separation of church and state. And so there's a lot of things that I think of when I hear left. And then when I hear terms like jihadist, which I frankly don't pretend to understand fully, but it seems to me that there's no separation between church and state. Women's rights, almost non-existent, but from my perception. It's almost like they're exact opposites. Like everything that's important to someone on the left is the exact opposite manifested by those people that we might call an extreme right or jihadist, something like that. So forgive me for my sloppiness of terms. This is your playground, but just am I anywhere near right? It seems like these are the strangest bedfellows imaginable.
They absolutely are the strangest bedfellows imaginable, and the left will do anything to stay in power. First of all, or to take power. First of all, you're talking about the vulnerable. The first thing they do to the vulnerable is they label everyone and give everyone an identity and tell them you have to fight for your rights.
Right.
So it's
the
all
oppressed
about,
and the oppressor.
It's all about this, exactly. It's always about that. Then you have radical Islam, which I have to note, I live in Turkey most of the time, and this is an Islamic country. The mosques go off 5 times a day. Beautiful here. The people are beautiful. There's never been anything distasteful, beautiful. UAE, same thing. UAE, Dubai and Abu Dhabi, the 2 safest cities in the world.
I was in Dubai. Magnificent.
Yeah. So today, I just read an article. UAE is no longer supporting students from the UAE, Emiratis, to go to the UK to study because they're being radicalized by the Muslim Brotherhood, which is forbidden in the UAE, by the way. It's outlawed in Saudi Arabia. So the Muslim Brotherhood, who has a huge following in the West, is forbidden in their own countries. That should tell you something right there. When you have an imam saying the left are being used as useful idiots by the Islamists, and as soon as they take control, they're going to fire them off like they did in Iran, like they did back in the old days in World War II. It's the same playbook over and over and over again, and the leftists never learn. So look, I'm not left, I'm not right, I'm not anything. I'm naturally a conservative person, but not politically conservative, but conservative as values and things like that, religious and all that kind of stuff. So I don't get into the games. So it's something that I'm observing, and when I say these things, I'm not for or against. I'm saying what it is.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so I get labeled a lot. I get labeled a Putinist. I get labeled a Trumpster. I get labeled a leftist. I get labeled a rightist, depending on what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, labeling is a fast path to avoiding a conversation that you're not doing well in. So labeling seems to help. But I wanted to just make sure that people can hear your heart and mine as well. So I happen to be a fully committed Christ follower, and I may have mentioned to you that I plan on writing a book entitled "Please Stop Calling Yourself Christian for Christ's Sake." And the idea of the book is some people call themselves Christians, but they behave in complete contradiction to the teachings and life of Christ. And so for me, it's like, you can call yourself Christian, but you're just giving us a bad name, and you're trying to give Jesus a bad name. And so, and I think when we're talking about the radical jihadists or whatever, we're not talking about the beautiful people of Islam. We're not talking about our Muslim friends. We're just talking about there's a people group using that as a cloak, as people have used Christianity as a cloak and other things. So I just wanted to ask you to help me with that. Is that valid, what I just said, from your perspective?
Yeah, but so I'm a little different there, and it's something to say that for me, religion is very personal.
Yeah.
Right? Do what the hell you want to do. Do what you want to do. It's your thing. It's your world. It's your thing. Don't try to push it on me. Don't try to force me into something that if we're in a conversation and I'm for it, then we're for it. Now, the issue comes when people don't do what they pretend to be, and we see that in the Christian. We see that in the Christian faith all over America right now.
Yeah.
Right? But you also see it in the Islamic faith.
Yes. Yep.
So you have over here, men are very, very devout, very Muslim, but then they're out on weekends chasing women and doing all these things, and cheating on their wives and stuff like that, right? So you have the same thing in every society. Yes. So it's up to us to say, okay, what affects me in my life right here, right now? And I don't get involved in things that I can't control because I can't control it. And number two, if it doesn't affect me directly and I can't change it, why even bother? Right? Because everything that we do, and that's where Take America Back comes from. What can you control and what can you influence? And that's what you need to work on. Everything else is a diversion and a waste of energy.
Yes.
So if you want to make a high quality of life, which, QOL, I call it, quality of life. And it's the last, sorry, I can pull this out. It's the last part of my book, Unleash Your Humble Alpha. In the last chapter, it's about QOL, quality of life, or in German we say Lebensqualität, just to throw that in there. And that's what it's about in the end. That's the one equalizer that we have worldwide. Everyone wants a better quality of life. And we will not have that if we look out there and over there and listen to the media and the press telling us, oh my gosh, look what's going on in Venezuela.
Yes.
What's happening in your life right now that Venezuela is going to affect? Nada, unless you're Venezuelan or your family's Venezuelan.
Yes, yes.
You're living in New York City and you're sitting there, you're going to work every day. Why are you getting upset about Venezuela? Yes, it's happening. Note it. Learn from it, but don't let it affect your life, because it's just pulling away from who you are, what you are, and your potential to have an impact in the world that you live in. Mm-hmm. I mean your world, Yes.
Well, I love that. I love the fact that you have an insider perspective. You have painfully earned experience through your military experience and more with your world travels and your businesses, but you maintain even though you can talk about geopolitical, even though you can speak about things on macro levels, your focus is your wellness, to be a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, contributing citizen of society, starting here in home, here in community, and from that foundation become a pillar of society. But if people take their energy off their own personal lives to point out the flaws in others, maybe on the other side of the world, maybe in political things, and they think I'm investing my energy in making the world a better place, No, you are not.
No.
If it's not within your circle of control or your circle of influence, it's in your circle of concern. And when you invest there, your inner circles shrink and you become less powerful rather than more powerful.
Man.
And to me, it's like, that's why I got so excited about talking to you, because you can talk about the macro, you can give us insights on things, but you do not provoke us out of our Zen
No.
state of, I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible to be a good man, a good husband, a good father, a good friend, a good community member, and perhaps over time become a community leader, a pillar of society. But it starts with, I must be happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise before I begin to think I
Yeah.
have the right to talk or the power to influence
Power.
larger things.
And think about it. It's just like the mask in the airplane, right? Put your mask on
Yeah.
first. You can help other people. It's the same thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we get distracted all the time. But that's what the powers to be want. You know, they
Yes.
want to keep us distracted. They want to keep us arguing with each other. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can try to. I mean, you should see the comments I get. You know, I have almost 500 million views across all channels over
Wow.
the last 9 months. And I get some doozies, well, I'll tell you. And I just got to laugh. I rarely comment. If I do, I'll
Yeah.
just like, hey, you know, grow up. The adults are talking. I mean, like, you know, or just something like that. But it's never, oh, you leftist or you rightist or nothing like that. Because look, everybody's world is formed by something.
Yeah.
Everybody's world is formed first by their childhood, then their early experience in their career, and then later in life, depending on how old they are. And you're a result of your past. And your future, by most people who aren't living consciously, your future is dictated by the traumas of your past. So when you're faced with something that you were faced with before, even if just a little bit of it, you're going to react like you did before. So you're creating that loop that you just keep going through. Now, conscious people will stop that loop. So conscious people will ask themselves questions. That's how you break a loop. You ask questions.
Yes.
You know, who's trying to trigger me right now? Why are they trying to trigger me right now? What am I supposed to be looking at right now? These are the kind of questions you ask yourself. And then suddenly you're like, man, none of this matters. Like all this stuff that we hear, all the news that we hear, all the breaking news, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It means nothing except for one thing. Look over there and not here.
Yes. Yes, I love this. I love this. Okay, but we got to keep looking out there, and for this conversation, and then I definitely want to invest time in Take America Back and how to be a humble alpha. So I just wanted to close some loops. Venezuela, at the moment, based on your perceptions and some insider information, we don't need to push too much there, but based on what you know and perceive, how are you feeling about the future for Venezuela? Because I know there's a lot of people, their hearts are wide open and vulnerable, and there's a lot of people in Venezuela that might be lacking comfort right now in peace, and they want to have a sense of what might be going on. So I just wanted to kind of go back there and get your thoughts.
Well, you know, some people are saying, oh, it's a regime change just like they did in Libya and in Iraq and all in Afghanistan, but it's not the same. And here's why. Because South Americans are mostly Christian. America is mostly Christian. So there's a massive connection there, number one. Number two, a lot of South Americans live in America. So there's families, there's crossover, there's there's a knowing, right? So I don't think it's going to go down that road where people are going to be like in a really, really bad place. Now there will be a transition period where the infighting of the people that are in charge that are still want to hold the power, that's going to happen. But I have to see this as something that's good moving down the road. Now, what's going to happen? I don't know exactly, because there's two different ways to look at this, or probably even more. But even right now, I can sit here and go, man, what about digital ID? Look at the taxes. Man, I mean, you know, what's going to happen when that? Or I can say, I can live my life how I live, and I'm pretty free to do that, where and how I want to do it. That's the major step right there that we need to look at. Again, staying within your limits of what you can control and what you can influence. That's where it matters. And so the people in Venezuela, where are they? Well, can they influence the world that they're living in right now? Can they get food? Can they get water? Can they get drink, power, that kind of stuff? And for me, the first thing I think of is it's a massive business opportunity for anybody there right now. Massive.
Yes, I was thinking the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, because I remember when the wall came down in Germany, I was in the army. When the wall came down, I was like, I'm staying here. So I got out of the army and stayed in Germany. And I opened up the first American cocktail bar in Berlin, Germany. I opened up the first sports bar in Berlin, Germany. Right? I helped open up the first Hard Rock Cafe, the first Planet Hollywood, the first TGI Fridays. I mean, I know we're spreading that horrible American cuisine into the world, but it was at the time it was a lot of fun, right? So you see business opportunities as well, and that's the thing is that if you're waiting for someone to take care of you,
Yes.
those days are over, man. Those days are over. Socialist countries go broke. Look at Europe right now. They're crashing hard.
Yeah.
Of course, that has a lot to do with the immigration and paying for all that. But everyone's responsible for themselves, and I'm a firm believer. If you give people the benefit of the doubt and you give them a tool to work with, like we do with America Back, they will rise.
Yes. I mean, the hope, my hope, and I think you may have a thought to close this out, but regarding Venezuela, because that was the one that I really wanted. It seems to me, or my hope is that people will be free to create great lives. I mean, the promise of the USA was not, come here, we're going to give you everything. Come here, there are no laws. No, the promise of America was, come be a part of something. What we're going to do is get out of your way. You want to build something, build it. You want to create something, create it. Here we are not under some oligarchy that controls us, some bureaucracy that keeps us from. No, you want to build a house, build it. You want to buy land, buy it. You want to build an enterprise, build it. And it was a land of opportunity, not a land of promises. It was a land of, if you're willing to do what it takes, you can have what you earn. That, to me, is the most attractive thing in the world, to say, you now are free to make a great life. And that's my hope for Venezuela. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's true. There's more millionaires in America than anywhere else in the world, and that's per capita. That's not because we have so many people. And that's because of the opportunities that are there and the freedom to do those things that you see fit. And that would be amazing for Venezuela if something like that worked out. I mean, if we look at Mexico, it's a big problem, the narco control and everything. Hopefully Venezuela has weeded that out. It'll take a while, obviously, because there's a lot of vested interest there, especially from the globalists and those billion-dollar companies down there, all those voting machine companies down there, And it's something that's going to take a while. Right now, they say, Trump is saying he's running the country, whatever that means. We don't really have any idea of that. But I because our cultures are so close, the South Americans and the North Americans, I think it's going to be a much easier handover and transition than it would have been than it was in the Middle East, because it's just two different worlds.
Yeah. You know what came to mind when you were talking about the transition, that it's going to be uncomfortable? It made me think of if a person has something wrong in their body, and they need an operation to take out something that's bad, and before the operation, and possibly because of the operation, there's going to be infections, and there's going to be, and then the body has to, let's say it's a transplant, it has to accept the new organ or whatever. So there's a lot of healing and toxicity removal between here and wellness, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means this is the painful process to freedom. Is that a fair statement?
That's a fair statement, for sure. For sure.
All right, man. I want to throw some names at you.
Healing, and
look at that.
That was me. I finally found the live so I could share it.
Yeah, I love it. Please do. So I want to go into just a round of, I'm going to throw names at you and get your opinion. And that might be mean or unfair, but I just want to get your opinion on some folks, because a lot of us care. So.
Okay.
The first name that pops into my mind is Dan Bongino. He's a guy, military guy, seems like a straight shooter, seems like a guy who, listen, I'm gonna do what's right. You can kill me on my way, but I'm not gonna be a part of anything that's BS. You put me in, I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. I'm a man of my word. That's my perception of him. And for him to say, yeah, that'll do, I'm out. Any thoughts on his experience, on who he is, where he's going? I'm guessing you have a visceral connection with him, if not more.
Yeah, I before he went to be the assistant director, I had a lot of high hopes for him. His podcast was cutting edge, and he was always calling people out and stuff. And I do this and I do that. And you wanted to believe. He went in there. You saw he was frustrated. You saw he couldn't get done. He wanted to get done. Now he's out. And the first thing he said when he got out is that Donald Trump's in major, like mortal danger. That his own security can't protect him.
Sorry, did he say he's in mortal danger or he is a mortal danger? He's in mortal danger.
In mortal danger, yeah.
I didn't hear that.
And that his own security can't even protect him, right? And now he's what they call blackpilling everybody, which means people who speak out against MAGA, who speak out against Trump, whatever. He's going after them big time.
Well, now he's allowed, right? Yeah, he had a leash on him when he had an official position. Now
but before he was, but something's different.
Oh.
Something's different. He's not the same guy. You can tell there's a narrative that he's following now. He's not free. You can tell by the way he speaks. He doesn't speak like he used to.
He's unofficially still employed.
I don't know. Maybe he was employed to give him that badge so when he get out, he can. I don't know. But there's a lot of theories out there which I won't get into. But I just feel like he's not genuine right now. He's being disingenuous right now.
Wow.
That's just what I feel.
Well, I have to listen to you because you know more than me. For me, my perception and I know like 1/1,000,000th of what you know. My perception is he wants to be the man that he promoted himself as, and if he's struggling to get that man back on top, back on the throne of his life, then I will be praying for him and cheering him on to get back to being the man that he worked hard to become, and to continue that. So all the best.
You never know what happens. I was in politics in Germany for a long time, and I still am as an advisor. Co-founder of a political organization which became the largest non-party political pressure group. And we got politicians to do things for the citizens. Like we wanted, theme X into the next coalition contract for the governing parties that were up there, and we forced our way into that by using our base of about 1 million people to vote for or against a certain politician at election time in order to get them to do what we wanted. Right? Classic pressure group.
Yeah.
So I've seen what happens when they say, "Hey, Steven," it never happened to me, but. Hey, Steven, let's go meet candidate so-and-so. Yeah. Let's go to my office. You go to the office, and they go, "Hey, I'm going to step out for a second. I'll be right back." They leave. 2 young kids come in. They take pictures of you with these two young kids. You're going, "What's going on?" And boom, they got you. Because the accusation is all that matters. The accusation is all that matters. It's not whether or not it happens. So that's just one example, one small example. And so you can imagine everyone in their life has done things, right? And now I want to tell you something I haven't told anybody, is that I was recently asked to run for office in the States, a very high office. And they said, "But Steven, you have to be clean. Like, they're going to find everything you've ever done."
Of course.
And I said, "Well, I'm not clean. I'm clean. I'm not like dirty or anything. But I did stupid things and I got in fights and that kind of stuff." And I said, "Bring it." Because here's the difference. In my book, I wrote about HIT, honesty, integrity, and transparency. Honesty with yourself while you do say and think like you do. Transparency is how you step into the world with that honesty, and that's your ongoing reputation. The byproduct is integrity. Integrity makes you authentic. Authenticity allows you to dictate your market value, right? That's me. That's my own thing. I've been teaching that for 25 years. So when you live with HIT, it doesn't matter what people bring in front of you because you just own it. You just own it. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I got pictures of me and my wife. Yeah, I did that. I got in a fight in Berlin, Germany. Yeah, and I broke somebody's nose and I got my nose broken. Yeah, that happened. Everyone has these bad times in their life. Yep. So what's your point? You open the door, let them fall in. So I had to deal with all this stuff. And I had people ask me these questions. And I'm like, look, bring it. It doesn't matter what they bring. It does, because I will stand to it. I will own it. I will stand to it. I will lie. I won't do it. And here's another thing. Here's another thing. Steven, you're very your wife, and you're always talking about your wife. And I said, look, I can pretend that I'm a conservative guy, and then I have this wife with like the bob haircut, looks like a kindergarten teacher, and I'm all prissy and all this kind of stuff. But I'm a real guy, and I love beautiful women. It's just the way it is, and my wife's beautiful. So why wouldn't I talk about it, right? Yeah. And I'll own that. It doesn't bother me. And if someone doesn't like it, then I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. But I promise you this: authenticity is the key to winning anything.
Yes.
Because even if they don't like you, but you're authentic.
Yeah,
they'll appreciate you and respect you.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what? I think one of the things you bring up there is the urgency for society to function, for relationships, marriages, families, communities. For us to function, we must embrace responsibility and grace, because this is a universe that honors free will. And as a result of free will, we're a cluster fudge of uniquenesses. We all have whatever. We've got our moments. And even if I didn't, someone could conjure something, some story.
Yeah,
And
always.
so responsibility is I'm responsible to the degree that I'm able to respond to my environment, my situation, my whatever, my childhood, my moment. And when I blow it, I own it. When I blow it, I own it. And then grace says, oh, Stephen punched a guy in the nose once who was a bystander. He wasn't even the guy who was punching Steve in the back of the head. He hit the wrong guy. Steve's a bully. Stephen's a bully.
Yeah.
And if they say, okay, that's who he is, we're done. Well, that's just foolish.
Yeah.
Nobody is so clean that you can't find an excuse to judge them and reject them. There's no such thing.
But
So
even then, let them do it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't please everyone all the time.
no,
And it's just like, hey, whatever you think, I mean, like,
yeah,
you can listen to what I'm saying and take it at face value, or
yeah,
you can look at my past and try to like fit something in and fit a
yeah, yeah,
narrative so you can put me in a hole or a box. It doesn't really matter to me.
yeah, yeah.
I just know one thing. I have, to my own detriment, upheld the integrity of my life many times. And I mean, to my own detriment. I'm talking like millions of dollars to my detriment,
Yes, yes,
right? Turned things down, ended relationships,
yeah,
did all kinds of crazy stuff so that my integrity stayed intact.
yep,
Because here's the secret. No one may know that you're out of integrity, but you know. And
yes,
if you know you're out of integrity and you're not a complete psychopath, psychopath,
mhm,
that energy will come through. That you're
yeah,
not trustworthy, something's off.
absolutely,
That frequency,
yeah,
something's up with this guy, kind of thing.
yep,
So I don't have that, and that's why people say, "Oh
yeah,
my God, you're just like you are on camera. You're just like a normal guy." I am a normal guy. I'm an
yes,
absolutely normal guy. But
yeah,
this normal guy right here has spoken to world leaders, has
yeah,
advised world leaders, has spoken and advised to
yes,
celebrities: Olivia Newton-John, Andrea Bocelli, Mick
yeah,
Jagger. The royals, the kings and queens and princes and crown princes, and all
yeah,
these people. Because I'm a regular guy, because the
yeah,
integrity's high, I don't have to have all this accolades. I don't have to have a big list. I have it,
that's right.
but I never talk about it. I don't need
Hmm.
to, because everything you know about me, you can feel about me on
Hmm.
face value. And that's not because I'm a great guy. It's because I refuse to go against my own integrity. It's
Yeah,
that simple. That's
yeah,
how simple life can be.
yes, yes. That's structural integrity to say,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am the man I chose to be.
yeah.
and and that doesn't mean I've never made errors if of judgment and otherwise. It's like me saying I am committed to, let's say, never lose my temper, right? I'm committed to never lose my temper, and then I lose my temper. That doesn't make me a fraud. It proves I'm a human. Now what am I going to do about it? Am I going to own it, take responsibility, and say, okay, how can I better manage that and move forward? And
Yeah.
so just having character, having integrity doesn't mean we're perfect, but it
No.
does mean we hold ourselves to a standard openly.
Integrity is real simple. Do what you say you're going to do.
Yep.
Don't do what you say you're not going to do. And if you screw up, apologize and make it better. That's integrity.
I love it.
That's
I love
integrity
it.
right there.
I love it.
And honestly, like, if you do, I'm a guy. I lose my temper too. I get mad sometimes, frustrated. And if I lose my temper and someone's in front of me, I'm like, look, sorry, I lost my temper. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I said, look at your entire life. How much will this moment right now affect your entire life? It's not even measurable. So why don't we
Yes.
just drop it? And they're like, oh, I guess you're right. And then we move on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, don't
Yeah.
waste time on things you can't change.
Yep.
It
Amen.
happened. Apologize, make it better, onward, upward.
Okay, I've got an ugly one for you next. You ready?
Yep.
Epstein,
Yeah.
Cash Patel. What are your thoughts on this? Because to me, when Trump came out and said, "Oh, there's no story there," that's like, "Oh,
That was a story.
you have affected your base in ways that is currently incomprehensible." Like I think the people who said yes to Trump largely said yes to Trump over things like this. We want justice. We want these girls protected. We want bad people to pay to be held accountable. So your thoughts?
I don't really get into it with Epstein.
Okay.
Obviously, something happened.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's bad people out there. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's child trafficking. I mean, one of my friends One of the guys that worked with, I think his name is Tim Bird, who went down there, and he was one of the operators from ex-Delta Force.
Ballard,
Yeah,
Underground
yeah,
Railroad.
yeah. He was down in South America and did all that. He was
Yeah.
one of the guys who extracted stuff. So it's all legit. It's all real. It's all happening. Who has films on what? And I just think common sense. Like, okay, so the Democrats had this Epstein list for 4 years, and they didn't release it. If there was something on Trump there, wouldn't they have released it? They were trying to impeach the guy the whole time, right? So something's on right there. Now they have it. The Republicans are like, we're going to release it. Now they're not releasing it. So what's the deal? I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah,
I just know this. If I'm a crafty individual and I'm in power and I want people to do something and I have something on them.
Well, that's where my head went.
Right. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to make sure they do what I say because I have leverage.
Yeah. I would say there's only two things come to my mind. Number one, leverage, and it is infinite leverage. If it's provable, valid, and all that. Number two, if anything is there that could hinder Trump's ability to stay in his current position, that would be the only other reason. And I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's good or bad. But those are the only two reasons I can think in my head is the power that information currently has until it's released. And secondly, if there's anything that could take the role away from Donald Trump's current position, that would also be a decision maker. Those are the two things that come to mind. And I don't need to provoke. I just asked because what the heck, I've got.
Can I change it? Does it affect me? No.
Yeah.
I'd like to see people get arrested that are hurting children. Definitely, 100%. But can I affect it? Can I have any change? Can I have any kind? Nothing at all.
Yeah.
And so it's a massive distraction.
Yes.
Massive distraction. And I hear it every day. What about the Epstein files? Venezuela was attacked. Oh, it's just a diversion from the Epstein files. Nah, not really. So it's annoying to tell you the truth because I wish people would just look at their lives and say, what can I do right now in my life to make it better? What can I do right now? What can I do? Because it's like this: family first, then community, then city, then state, then country, in that order. Get yourself straight. Get yourself straight. Get your community straight. Get your state straight. Your city straight. State straight. And America straight. That's the order and the way we have to do it, and that's why I found it Take America Back.
I love it. Look, I want to jump on that now, but I do have a bunch of hot buttons I still want to play with. But let's give us a break on that because your heart is screaming valid, and it's valid that. If we only talk about things outside of our control, how are we improving our ability to have any control on our lives in our world? So let's jump into Take America Back because you are a humble alpha leader. You have wisdom and you've invested an inordinate amount of time helping people to become happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, empowered, and have great lives, great homes, great communities, and become pillars of society. So I just wanted to unleash you onto that. So Take America Back. Talk to us.
Okay, so at its foundation, it's a simple premise. The American Republic was built by the people for the people, and it only functions when leadership is clearly defined and held accountable, right? Leadership is meant to serve. It's not meant to rule. If you know any good leaders, they are always servant leaders. The core problem is that we debate politics while ignoring leadership standards. He's a bad politician. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. What about the leadership standards? There's no standard across the board, right? And of course, we have citizen servant leaders. That's what we're all about. We have a book, and that's coming out. It's being edited right now. We have a course that'll be certified by universities that'll have clear, non-negotiable accountability and shared understanding, so that across the board, everybody's at one level. Right? We got the doctrine, the training, the certification, and accreditation pathways already set up. And of course, clarity, when you have clarity in leadership, that replaces manipulation.
Yes.
And that confidence that you have as a leader with clarity replaces the fear that people use to keep people in control because you have clarity.
Yes.
Right? And what that means for every citizen is that better questions, stronger decisions, and real accountability. It's not a party. It's not a media brand or an ideology. It's an infrastructure, a shared leadership language, so citizens and leaders can hold each other accountable. Can you imagine knowing exactly what your congressman, your senator, or your president is working with? Know exactly that same exact book and same exact doctrine that you've taken and that you have it, that knowledge? What kind of a level playing field are we creating? Because when leadership is undefined, power fills that vacuum. And when citizens are educated, power is forced to answer. Right? And you see this in Iran right now. They're being forced to answer the public. Everyone stood up and said, we're done with this. Right? We're done with this. You have to listen to us. We're going to take our country back. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see. It doesn't have to be violent. It really doesn't. So basically, Take America Back is a citizen servant leadership initiative focused on restoring accountability, standards, and clarity in public life. That's basically what we are.
I love it. I love it. I wanted to talk about the microscopic. I'm a dude. I take the course. I want to learn how to be a better man, or if a woman, I want to be a better woman, if that's the case. But I want to be a better me. I want to be a better family member. I want to be a better community member. I want to be, dialed in and understand a common set of expectations, values, and commitments. For me, does it start with an awareness of civil responsibility? Like, for me, I perceive that civility seems to have got misplaced. This morning, as I was driving back from my morning Starbucks run where I go and I chill for a bit, I was on my way back, and this young man was walking across the road in front of me, not at a crosswalk, not at a stop sign, just walking across the road. And he's looking at his phone. He looks up and sees me, knows that I am a moving vehicle in his direction with zero acknowledgement, zero request. He simply put his head back down and walked very slowly in front of my car. So I had to hit my brakes and I had to wait for him. He didn't look back, didn't acknowledge my existence. And I thought, well, good thing I'm me, right? Because I'm not going to get mad at him. I'm not going to, I mean, good thing he chose me, right? But I'm just thinking, how safe is society when we have zero personal accountability to it's almost like people don't know that if you choose to be in civil society, certain responsibilities and expectations come with that to be a member of a civil society. And right there, I think somehow it became a us and them, I get mine and everyone knows me, or something. There's something was lost in, wait, we're in this thing together. Hold the door for a stranger and don't demand a thank you. Like, pick up after yourself, so do things like that come in at that's the beginning? We have to accept the reality that if we chose to be a member of society, membership comes with dues. And here's what's due. Is that part of the work you do?
That's a byproduct of what you do.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So the byproduct is when you take personal accountability and you my son's trying to give me gummy bears. Like, no.
I understand if you take one, just for the record.
When you take personal responsibility for what you do, and that means starting with your family. Yep. Am I a good father? Am I teaching my kids right? If I have kids, am I treating my wife right? Am I taking personal responsibility for the world around me? Little things. Am I cleaning up, making it so When you do that, automatically you're going to be a different person. It's like when you wear a uniform. So when you're in the military or you're a police officer, when you wear a uniform, you're a different person than when you're not wearing a uniform, because you have responsibilities that go with that, right? You have a code, you have an oath, and all these kind of things. This automatically changes you. So when you start cleaning up your life, when you start taking responsibility for what's happening in your life, automatically you'll be a different person, a better person, more cordial person. And here's one thing that I pay attention to, and that's language. On social media, on TV, the F word is now normalized. Yep. Calling people names, absolutely normalized. Yeah. What happened to cordial communication?
Yes.
What happened to it is it was stripped from us because it's you against me against him against them against each other, in order to keep the chaos. So if wait a second. So if I take care of my family and I treat my family right and I educate them according to my best standards, now I have a book that helps me do that. And a course that I can take to get certified to do that. What kind of a foundation am I building for my family? One, automatically your circle of influence will change. Your friends will change. You will no longer tolerate the people in your life that are pulling you down and doing stupid things, right? So you're cleaning house. Next, you move into the community. So maybe I should go run for a city council, or maybe I should run for the school board. You take what you learn, and you bring it into that school board. Now that's the concept, right? So right now, as we speak, I got 2 people, citizen servant leaders, who want to run for governor of different states. We have a few who are running for Congress, a few city councils, school boards, and they're all begging, please, we need a standard. Do you
Yes.
have the book? Do you have the course? In due time, it's coming soon, very, very soon. We're working on it. But you see the hunger. And here's
Yes.
another a litmus test that really struck me is I was on a radio show. Radio, I didn't even know they existed. Right? So a radio show on the East Coast. It was 3 states. It was like DC, Virginia, or whatever.
Yep.
And I got on the show. It's been around for 20 years. I got on that show, and afterwards, the host said, Steven, we've had the show for 20 years, and there was more people listening and more people asking questions than any other show we've ever done. And no one even knew who I was. Wow. And so what does that tell you? One, the concept's working because citizen servant leadership, Take America Back, isn't about me, not one person. It's about us. It's about us. So that was great because they didn't know who I was, but they're super interested in it.
Yes.
That was amazing. Second of all, like, how do we get involved? What can we do? How do we take it into our communities? How do we take it into our house?
Yes.
And this is why it's not about, okay, the guy in the traffic that looked at you, he's having trouble. He's obviously frustrated. He is not living the life he wants to live, but he's also not taking personal responsibility. Right? So how do you help that guy? Give him the book, right? Hey, buddy, I just saw you. You okay? You know, I do that shit all the time. I do that all the time. I talk to random people all the time. Like, my wife's like, why are you talking to that guy? He says, he looks unhappy.
Yeah.
Or he's having trouble. He's mad. Why is he mad? For what reason? You don't know what people are going through. I was that guy once. You know, walking down the street, I dare somebody just to say something to me. I dare you. You know, it was like, you know, that kind of guy. Back in the 90s, or right after when I got back from Iraq and got out of the army, the transition period was like, 3 days. So all of a sudden I'm the civilian. I'm like, freaking out. So it's up to us.
But you're much better now.
Much better. Of course. After, homelessness, suicide attempt, livers breaking. Yeah, much better.
Wow.
But look, I had to go through all that.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for it, actually. The biggest freedom I had in my life up to that period was when I was homeless. It showed me what I was capable of. It was crazy when you're homeless, you have nothing. Suddenly you're able to do everything you need to do, even though you have nothing. And you're like, wait a second. Why was I struggling when I had money? Now I have no money. I'm not struggling. Something's up here.
That is crazy, right?
So all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, man, I am much more powerful than I thought I was. And then you take your craft and so I would say this thing. Certainty allows you to let go of the how you're going to do anything. And certainty in your abilities to deploy your genius, your talents in any given situation. So I know right now, I'm sitting here facing the Mediterranean. If that window breaks in right now, because of a hurricane, or if the SWAT team comes in the door to take me and arrest me, I'm certain that I can deal with it.
Yes.
So I don't get excited. The bigger the scream, the bigger the problem, the calmer I become, because I'm certain of my abilities to deploy my genius, my talents in any given situation. And you learn it all in here. Every single chapter. Look, this is college curriculum in some universities in America, because every single chapter, at the end of it, you have the steps to take to be that. What's your identity? What's your purpose? How do you gain certainty? How do you become, the CEO of your own life enterprise? What does creating space mean? Creating space is probably the most powerful concept. Creating space is showing up wholly and fully for the person or the people in front of you with no preconceived notions or cookie cutter solutions and no expectation of a specific outcome. You have goals, but that's it. The only thing you focus on is the one thing that you can control, and that's your intention of adding value by solving problems. When you do that, there's no friction, there's no pushing, there's no leverage, right? As soon as I have an expectation, I'm trying to get leverage. I'm trying to get what I want. So if we let all that go and we create space, that creates an amazing opportunity to co-create something that's actually going to happen. And it sounds woo-woo, but I do it all the time. And whether it's my kids or my wife or business partners, it happens and people love it.
I want to talk about that reaction when you said that may sound woo-woo, because I wrote a thing called mental MMA, right? Mental MMA, the mental game of mixed martial arts. And all of the top fighters, I've had the pleasure of meeting almost all of what people might say are the scariest men and women in the world. And I'm thrilled to say it's the exact opposite. These are the kindest, most respectful people. Why? Because they know if anything went sideways, they're fine. So they're not pacifists out of fear. They choose the
Yeah.
path of peace, knowing that if it goes the other way, they'll be fine too. So they don't have to flex, because they know who they are. Big dogs don't need to bark, and they have that kind of Zen energy. And what I talk about in the cage is very similar to what you're saying, which is if you are overcommitted to a specific outcome, if you're chasing the knockout, you won't get it. If you're chasing the armbar, you're not going to get it. So what you do is you show up, and I love what he's not my favorite. He may be the best UFC fighter ever, John Jones, but I'm just not a fan of the human being outside of the cage. But as far as a fighter, it's unbelievable. And I can't judge him. I don't know. But he said it's math. Anyone in that cage can win, and everyone in that cage could lose. And there's odds here. He says, my job is through my preparation, my training, my mental game, my skills development. My job is to show up and to make the likelihood of their being able to win so small that I don't worry about that. I just allow the opportunities to show up. I am present rather than forcing. And so too much emotion, too much agenda totally gets in the way. And go ahead.
There's a book called Reality Transurfing. It's way out there. Vadim Zeland. You heard of it?
No, but I love it. By the sound.
It's a Russian guy. Vadim Zeland is his name. It's one of the most unknown best-selling books in the world.
Wow.
This book has sold millions and millions of copies, called Reality Transurfing, and he talks about excess potential. When you're too much in your head or you're too much in your emotions, you're losing. Right?
Oh, so right.
You have to look, just like you said, when you're focusing on something so much, you're missing out on 90% of everything else that could be happening in your favor. Right?
Yes.
That would make that a normal outcome instead of you
Yes.
fighting for it. So
Yes.
excess potential emotion, excess potential logic is always a detractor from your success.
Wow, that is so powerful, because there are countless highly capable people, intelligence, skills, abilities, competence, and capacities that have not made manifest their potential. That is just so common. Overthinking, right? Just all of that. So that's huge.
Oh, look.
Yeah, go.
Well, look, real quick. So I was a business advisor. I was a political advisor. I did all kinds of stuff, all kinds of crazy stuff that I had no business doing, and I had no qualification for it, but I did it anyway. and I was always successful. But this, Take America Back, I'm not even. It wasn't even a plan. I started doing videos. I started doing a video last December because my wife's Ukrainian.
Yeah.
And I made a video, and I said, "Hey, UK sending in rockets to Ukraine. Are they nuts? My wife's family's there. Now I got to bring them over to Turkey so they're safe." Right? Next, that video went viral. Got I don't know, 50 million views. Alex Jones shared. All these people shared it.
Wow.
I didn't do anything. A month later, I did another video. Same thing happened. So I said, let me do a video every week. And through the conversations and through my videos, I started saying things like, we need to take America back from the establishment. We need to take America back by the people, for the people. Right? And I said, we need to get our citizen servant leaders in place that have never been in politics, but have the capability, the ability, but don't have the knowledge of how it works. That's what we're going to do. And it's just organic. So everything that I am as a person and all the things that I've done and all the 10 countries I've lived in and all the governments and all that stuff, it's now coming to play because I can stand on any stage. I can stand in front of any world leader, and I've stand in front of many of them, and you can't stump me. Right? I got an answer, I got a way, I got a path, I got a solution. Period. And now it's all organic. Everything that's happening with Tab is organic. Jointab.us is the website, and it just explains to you what we do. And what we're doing now is we're in the formation stage, the foundation stage, the book, the doctrine, the course, all these different things. And there's a way to sponsor us. You sign up for like a subscription of $5 a month, $6 a month, 10, 12, 25, whatever it is, $20 a month. And without even saying, look, you get this in return, it isn't that. You're not buying anything. You're investing in building something that's going to change America, because here's what's going to happen. Once we get we already have a roster of people that want to be Tab leaders, certified. Once we get a roster, let's say we have 50 to 100 people. We now have a roster of Take America Back certified citizen servant leaders that we can help push into positions where they can influence the citizens and bring the republic back to the people. We're not a party. It can be Democrat, it can be Republican, it can be independent. Because it's not It's not what you say or what you do, it's how you say it and how you do it. You can be pro or you can be contra. But if you're pro and you're screaming at the people who are contra or vice versa, you're not getting anywhere.
Yep.
How do you communicate what you need to get where you want to go? That's what this is about. It's about bringing the republic back to the people by the people. And I'm
Amen.
telling you this as we speak. I can't even stop this now if I tried. It is exploding across the board. It's incredible. It really is. I'm so blessed. I'm so honored. I'm so humbled by the people that come to me. And I've had some scary moments too, where people are starting to notice and they want influence over me. So they're offering me a lot of money.
Yep.
It will fund you completely. Because if we want to do this right, because we're setting up a media company, which is Tab Media LLC. We have the foundation. It's getting finalized right now. And we're going to have Tab leadership training, which is where the course is underneath. We're going to have a scholarship for those who went through the course and went around in the government. I have the top political consultants and strategists worldwide that are friends of mine that will come and teach in the academy for people who want to get into government, right? Or even at your local level. So imagine you have a city council member who has the knowledge of a world leader. That's what we're talking about here, right? But has humility of a citizen servant leader. This is power, my friend. This is absolute power. So we got the media company, we got the training company, we got the publishing company. We're going to have documentaries. People on board. Retired General Blaine Holt, he's on board.
Yeah.
We got Ron Lynch, the marketing mercenary, did $3 billion in sales. This guy, he did the documentary, The Real JFK or RFK Jr. He did the documentary I told you about.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah,
great. Trust me.
Out of this world.
Yeah, he's on board. And that was organic. They just came to me. Blaine came to me. General Holt came to me. Like he saw me and said, hey, I love what you're doing. Can we do it? And it just keeps, so what I'm saying is this. Because I'm focused on what I can change in the world and aligning my world with who I am as a person, that is beaming out into the universe right now and attracting people at that frequency. It's the same way I attracted my wife. It's the same way I've attracted this. Become who you really are, your true identity, your true personality, your true identity, first chapter.
Yes.
And you will attract a frequency of people at that same frequency. Incredible. Out of this world. If you want to change your life, become who you're supposed to be first. And it sounds, like I said, woo-woo, but it's very step by step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, do this. This is what you get. You get a 2-word moniker. This is what your 2-word moniker is. This is what you're about. This is your absolute power. Focus on what you're good at, not at what you're not good at. All this distraction as a true leader has to go through. No, it's who you are.
Yep.
It's who you are.
Yep.
Everyone has the capacity to lead in their own lives. And if you get that straight, everything else is a walk in the park.
Well, I want to help people with a couple of links and so that they can write it down. So join tab, that's TAB. Give us that again.
.us.
So it's jointab.us.
Yes.
And this gets people into the circle. It gets people into this to begin to understand and to be able to benefit from the trainings, the connections. I've never had a brigadier general, reach out to me. It's never happened. It's you are a powerful man with very powerful friends, and we're talking about not that team or that team. We're talking about good people who care about freedom, who care about civility, who care about you, and are investing themselves in helping you, train you, and to be that pillar in society and to be a part of this kind of a community. So join tab, that's TAB, Take America Back, jointab.us. I also want to give Ron Lynch a shout out. And so is his website ronlynch.com? Do you know? We'll find it and we'll put it in the tab. But here are the two movies that documentaries that Steven just referred to. The Real RFK Jr. I haven't taken that one in yet. I can't wait. It's on my must-do list. And then the other one, which is the more recent one, Trust Me movie. I'm telling you, it will blow your mind. These are very powerful and intelligent people that are in Steven's inner circle. And now you can join that inner circle. Go to jointab.us and get yourself connected with people who care, who are powerful, who are centric, about freedom and rights and civility and you and me. And it's not about that team, that team. I got so excited when we started. Well, I got so excited just watching your Instagram. That's how I was introduced. And then I reached out, and you're just very gracious to speak with me, and then giving us this opportunity. So I just want you to know that, Steven, we're not connected because I'm a big shot friend of his big shot friends. I'm just a regular guy. I'd like to say I'm special, and Steven is a genuine guy. And he opened up to this conversation and conversations with me. So join tab.us, do that immediately. We're going to put these in the chat, but
Yeah.
I wanted to do it. I wanted to jump onto something else, unless you've got something.
Real quick. Yeah, there's something else. There's something else. I have a Patreon channel. Now, the Patreon channel, I upload videos. I do a lot of lives in there, maybe 2 a week. And Patreon is where you get a little bit more intimate, right? Oh. It's the same thing. It's like $5. You can join for free.
Yep.
But I'd appreciate a little bit of support, because it's not really about content consumption. It's about representing participation in the foundational build out of a leadership standard for our nation, so that citizens and leaders, they can speak the same language and hold one another accountable.
Love it.
So the monthly support that anyone does on Join Tab, or that anyone does on Patreon, is research and development, curriculum and editorial work, platform infrastructure, independence from political or corporate capture. And that's the main thing. As you heard me say, I've turned down a lot of money from people who wanted to capture us, right? So the only way this is going to work is if we do it. And the only way that we can do it is if we all pitch in. And I know that sounds like a pitch, but it's exactly what it is.
Well, it is.
Even a modest monthly support help. Like most people do $6 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, right? And so it's something that matters more than most people can say, because I can go out right now and I can get $10 million from somebody and I can roll this out, but then I got to do what they say, and they're gonna instrumentalize me. And as a soldier in Iraq, I was instrumentalized one time in my life, and that will never happen again. That will never happen again. So that's why we need the support of everyone. So my Patreon is Patreon/Steven Eugene Kuhn. And it's fun. You come in, we chat, there's all kinds of posts. Matter of fact, in Patreon, you will find an excerpt of the book, right? You will find the song, the anthem to Take America Back, right? Which is an amazing song. I'm working with a singer right now that's hopefully going to record it. And you'll find all kinds of like personal information, and you meet my wife and all kinds of stuff. So it's more of an intimate community for those who want to go a little bit more and dig a little bit more into the bones of things.
The last thing, and I've got like 15 other things I want to talk about, so I'm going to beg you to do this again sometime. Okay. But I want to respect your family time and so on, and you've been gracious. You've allowed us to go over what we agreed to. But I wanted to ask you to help us understand the difference between Take America Back and Elon Musk's efforts to fix everything through technology and Doge. Yeah. When he walked away, he said it is unfixable. Yeah. The government is just, it's all just whether it's corruption, whether it's whatever. He was like, it's unfixable. And this is a man who, the Boring Company did that in a minute and a half. You've got Tesla. He changed the world of electric cars. He's changed the world. I mean, what was NASA doing, and now what has he done? 4 million rockets. He's got rockets the size of skyscrapers that move at the speed of light. This guy is the world's most famous and, of course, wealthiest man on earth, problem solver. And he said it's unfixable. Now, he wasn't saying that to say let's all get depressed. He merely said, I can help humanity by doing what I do more than trying to fix things from inside the upper echelon of the government. Yours, to me, is no, the government has got to be reminded it is we the people, by the people, for the people. And that doesn't come from going into the White House and checking the computers for fraud. It comes from you and I, us and them, learning the things that you're sharing. So I just wanted to kind of ask you, because my perception is it's top down, bottom up.
I can tell you why it didn't work. It's the old adage, how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one piece at a time.
Yep.
Right. And it's the same thing. You can't take on the whole system. Number one, if you change the top of a system, and this structure here is beholden with lifelong
Yep.
bureaucrats, sorry,
Bureaucrats. Yeah.
lifelong bureaucrats, people that are beholden, career politicians, career administrators. There's something that a lot of people don't realize. And I realized this during COVID very clearly. So I had a friend, he's a police officer, and I saw a clip on TV, and I said, "Is that you?" He was throwing someone on the ground and put him in handcuffs because they didn't wear a mask.
No.
And I said, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know that's wrong." And he said, "Dude, if I don't do that, I lose my job, I lose my pension, can't send my kids to school, can't pay mortgage." So weaponized debt in America is the largest parasite that we have in our society.
Wow.
So you have the top levels, the career politicians, then you have the entire system underneath. The button pushers, the admins, the people that write the checks and send them over to the right people and stuff. They're like this. Plausible deniability.
Yep.
They're not bad people. They just have debt. And if they don't have that job, if they lose their job, they lose their mortgage, they lose their house, they lose all this stuff. So people are trapped. Right? So if we don't change the system, it doesn't matter who's in power. This system is where the power lies. It's not the people at the top. This is where the true power. Because they say do these people do it. If they say do something that's wrong, they'll do it to keep their job. But if this system here is from the bottom up, re-educated, right, or replaced, then we have a chance to save the republic, bring it back to the people for the people. That's the only way to go. Imagine this. I see it happening already. There's already people telling me this, that they've already started implementing. I have a guy in Belgium or Holland, I don't remember. He said all he did was apply what I've been saying in my videos, and he got into office at city level. And now everybody's scared shitless of him, right? Because he's got standards and morals and moral courage to stand up and say no.
Yeah.
And you see it across the board, slowly but surely. And they're all citizens that were never in politics before, because suddenly they understand that there's a system there that needs to be changed from the bottom up. And that's how we do it. People say, oh, it'll never work. You're going to cry. Well, you know what? Then give up, stick your head in the sand, and then hope for the best. That's not me. That's never who I was. That's not who I am. And I believe firmly and wholly and fully, as I sit here today, we're moving back to the States, by the way, for this. Something I never thought I would do. My whole family, in-laws from Ukraine, because they're still refugees, they can't go back. We're taking them to, we got the in-laws, we got the kids, we got the wife, everything, moving to America after 38 years abroad in 10 countries. Never thought I would do it, didn't even want to do it, but I have to do it because this is my calling. This is what I've become in my life, and it's something that's happened organically, so I have to honor what I've been tasked with. And so that's what we're doing. We're moving to the States, we're making this happen. And it's going to change America. And that I can promise you. We will not be beholden. We will not be taken, as leverage. We will not be used to be used for other people. Now, there's battles ahead of us. I know that. But I've been in a lot of battles in my life. And I have people that have led these battles and won these battles on my side. So I can pick up the phone anytime and say, hey, I got the situation. How do I get out of it? What can you do for me? And like that. They call me the same way, by the way. I actually got a thank you from Donald Trump through two people for something that I passed along to someone who passed it to somebody who passed it to him. So, and this isn't because I'm powerful. This isn't because I know all these people. It's because I operate from a moral foundation of integrity. And I don't have to tell you that, but I'm telling you that because this is where you're going to end up once you if you can grab this book right now, Unleash Your Humble Alpha. It's on Amazon, it's on Audible. That's your first step. Then we move over to Citizen Servant Leadership, the book. And then we move over to the course and get certified, right? And then you're sitting there. That's applicable in any business. It's applicable in your family. It's applicable in your church because it's a moral foundation of integrity. And that, my friend, is the basis for anything. Any healthy relationship that you have must be based on integrity. If it's not healthy, period.
I love this, man. I'm seriously I'm begging you. Tell me you're going to come back because I've seriously, I'm not halfway through the stuff I wanted to ask you about, but you have been an incredible gentleman, kind, open, authentic, straight shooting, everything I expected, frankly.
Thank you.
And I wouldn't say that I knew what your answers would be, but I knew they would be thoughtful. I knew that they would be informed, and I knew they would be principle based. And I want more of that. I'm a big fan instantly. I want to encourage everyone, join tab.us and become part of something. What you want to call it, you can figure out. But what it is it's good, strong, smart people who aren't selling an agenda of left or right. They're not interested in that team or that team. They're interested in what's right. They're interested in, frankly, America. And for those of you around the world, you say, well, I'm not American. No one's going to hold that against you. I'm Canadian, and Steven loves me anyway, you know?
Well, I can butt in real quick for a second, is that we already have UK, Denmark, Holland, Ireland, and Belgium and Australia asking for the doctrine. So I'm securing the IP as we speak, so we can pass on the doctrine so they can do the same thing we're doing. Take Australia back, take UK back, take Ireland back. It's the same thing.
It's global citizenship. You know,
beautiful.
When you come from a place of, we're part of this together, we're all on the same team, and I'm committed to doing my part, and my responsibility is my wellness, my health, my wellness, my own wealth, my responsibility to keep my word, and you know, starting here, and together we form pillars of global society that's worth living in. And the urgency is, listen, someone's started the other end of a fuse in a sense, and it is urgent in my mind that we say, where do I start? And start, and then just become that global citizen that makes this world a better place. And we get in the way of hate and fear and chaos because we can be calming, dampening factors in a place of inflammatory conversations. And we need good friends because we can all be provoked. We need good community, good principles, good training. And that's what you're getting here with Steven. So with all of my heart, I encourage everyone, be a part of that. And Steven, can I hope to have you back someday?
100%.
100%. You're a gentleman. You're a gentleman. And I look forward to more and more and more. Parting words, I respect your time and I thank you for allowing me to go over. But what would you like to close with, sir?
Well, it's like this, simply. Go to jointab.us or go to Patreon, Steven Eugene Kuhn. Join us. Sign up. You'll get all the information. As soon as the book comes out, as soon as the course comes out, you'll see where we're going. You're going to live with us as we move to America and set up the media company and go out and get our White House credentials within a year and a half, and really move this thing forward to the point where you're going to be like, man, I was there at the beginning. I remember that guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you want to be an insider on this. I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you and your beautiful family.
Thank you.
And I'm excited, and I hope Florida is where you end up, because that's where I plan on ending up.
So far,
that's right, man. Listen, thank you. God bless you, sir. One and all, join TAB, join tab.us. Do that immediately. We'll put all kinds of links and information in here. We've talked about a lot of cool people, and we'll put all the information in the description as soon as I get that organized. One and all, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Steven. Please like, love, subscribe, comment, whatever you're supposed to do to stay informed. And we'll be bringing on cool people, and probably I'm going to start by begging Steven, hey, introduce me to your cool friends so I can get them to jump in and start sharing their genius. So one and all, thank you, Steven. God bless you. Have a beautiful, safe rest of your day.
Thanks so much.